Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
Not that you went searching for this, but I thought you may find this humorous or give you a chuckle. Okay, LaMelo Ball and his partner Anna Montana.
LaMelo Ball.
What did I say?
Bar.
Oh, I'm sorry, LaMelo Ball. Yes, I meant LaMelo Ball and his partner Anna Montana welcomed their first child. Okay,
Anna Montana, not Hannah Montana.
Anna, A-N-A, Montana. Hannah is the.
There's a person named Anna Montana.
Yeah, apparently so.
Oh goodness.
Anna, A-N-A. Maybe I'm mispronouncing it. It could be Anya. I have no idea. But Anna Montana. They welcomed their first child, baby boy. You want to take a wild stab at the name for this young man?
Can I be honest with you?
I know you don't. You don't care.
No, I don't want to take a stab.
Okay. I just thought it was kind of.
What's the name of the boy? I'm thoroughly interested in the name. I just don't want to try to guess.
Okay, Lawan, L-A, capital L, lowercase a, capital O-N-E, Lawan. LaMelo, Lawan. Come here, one. I guess. Montana, apparently her real name is Alicia Chavez, C-H-A-V-E-S. But
she changed her name to Anna Montana.
Anna Montana, yeah.
Which sounds to me a lot like Hannah Montana.
I know, but it's spelled A-N-A in the story. I know, I'm with you.
I was kind of making a joke there.
Lawan. Lawan. They released a statement welcoming Lawan into the world has changed our hearts in the best way. Family has always meant everything to us, but becoming parents has given us an entirely new perspective on love, purpose, legacy, and what truly matters most.
Since you've brought us this much information, I'm sure you can answer this question. Are they married?
I don't. It said partner, so I'm assuming not.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm assuming none. Okay. All right, here's a baseball question for you. Any update on if Rusnick or Burns will be available for any more games this season?
Man, that's a great question. I don't have an update. I apologize. I would tell you that all along I assumed that they would be back. So every week that goes by, I think that we get closer to them being back. Mm-hmm. And hopefully this is the one. This is an interesting thing you got going on this week. You play Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Okay, team will fly back to Lubbock on Saturday night. They're gonna have to play again on Tuesday night, and so you're probably not, your Thursday guys probably not wrapping around and starting again on Tuesday.
Okay,
and so same thing with their Friday and Saturday guys. So, because that would be like them starting a weekend series and then starting a midweek game. Mm-hmm. So, how this is going to be handled when you still, first and foremost, have to solidify your spot in the tournament. You've got a shot to improve your spot in the tournament. So, man, this is interesting when you're so short on pitching that you have that you've got to go Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Tuesday.
Yeah.
For the top six, they go Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then they'll play again until Thursday, which is fair. As far as I'm concerned, they've earned that right. But the other teams go either Tuesday and Wednesday, or at least Wednesday. Yeah. So I don't know how the Red Raiders are going to handle this. This will be interesting.
Let me at the risk of rattling the cage and awakening the baseball gods. Have you looked far enough ahead to get yourself a quote magic number for securing a berth? I mean, would one win Like if you won Thursday against Cincinnati, would that secure it, or do you need
Well, it
a little help?
depends what Arizona did with. If you won on Thursday and Arizona lost on Thursday, yes,
That would secure it.
that would secure it.
Okay.
The
And
magic number is 2.
okay, magic numbers 2. Okay.
The combination of your wins and Arizona losses.
Yeah. And so just thinking ahead just a little bit here. I guess if you won on Thursday and they lost and you secured the berth, that might change things in how you pitched Friday and Saturday.
It might.
I don't know that you have options.
A little bit, but what are you going to do?
Well, I know. You
We're
only
gonna
have 12 pitchers.
We're going to put Tracer Lopez on the mound? I mean, and not use your pitchers? I mean, what are you going to do? You got 13 pitchers.
Yeah.
It's not like you're like, hey, we're going to rest you for the weekend.
Yeah.
Well, how are we going to get to 27 outs 3 times?
Mm-hmm.
You don't have options because you don't have bodies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is where the roster limitation really comes into play, because you could, in the past, you might have had somebody that
You might have had a few extra guys, sure.
Yeah, you know, that you might have had somebody that, okay, well, he hasn't really pitched, a while, but
technically you do have 2 extra guys, one being a pitcher, but the 2 extra guys that were kind of grandfathered in here. Yeah. So, I mean, you're not even at 34, you're at 36.
yeah,
You're just hurt
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
no,
You don't have the option of saying, hey, we're going to hold this guy back this weekend. I mean, maybe that's where the Jackson Birds comes in. That maybe if Jackson is getting back to being healthy, they're like, man, well, we could start Jackson on Tuesday. That would be great. But if that's the case, you would surely want to see him pitch an inning or something over the weekend to make sure he's healthy.
yeah,
Right.
and can bounce back okay and all that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
like maybe you pitch him for an inning on Friday or something before starting on Tuesday. And then, I mean, you just don't have the bodies to be creative with, here's what we're going to do. We're going to save these 3 guys to be ready for Tuesday. You don't, if you had all those bodies, you're probably not in this situation. More than likely.
We'll have
You're kind of stuck.
yeah, we'll have Tech in Cincinnati from the Queen City on Thursday. It'll be a 4:30 broadcast time, 5:05 first pitch from Cincinnati there, and we'll have Friday's game as well, and Saturday too, and then hopefully next week some more baseball with the Red Raiders.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
May 11th, 2026. With this day in sports history, here is Jeff McGuire.
Starting us off in 1919, Washington Senators future baseball Hall of Fame ace Walter Johnson pitches 12 scoreless innings in a famous 0-0 duel with Jack Quinn of the New York Yankees at the Polo Grounds. 1963, Dodgers pitcher Sandy Koufax throws his second career no-no, beating the San Francisco Giants 8-0. 9 years later, in 72, San Francisco Giants trade Willie Mays to the New York Mets for pitcher Charlie Williams and cash.
That was sad seeing him finish his career the way he used to be the kind of the poster child of, you don't want to be Willie Mays playing for the Mets. You don't want to be John Unitas playing for the Chargers. You don't want to be Joe Namath playing for the Rams. Just guys that just kind of played out their career like that.
Stuck around too long,
Yeah.
flipped to some other franchise, and got a little ugly at the end. Yeah.
1996, Florida Marlin Al Leiter no-hits the Colorado Rockies 11-0. Couple of expansion teams getting together there.
Yeah.
And in 2011, Jamadric Magruder hit a 2-run homer, and Reed Redmond scored 2 with a single up the middle in the 6th inning to help guide the Texas Tech Red Raiders to a midweek series sweep over Michigan with a 6-4 victory in Michigan. So earlier we had no diet day. And we were all kind of like, okay, whatever. Well, today, apparently we didn't eat enough because today is Eat What You Want Day.
Oh, okay. Isn't that usually kind of the way it works?
I generally don't eat things I don't want. No, that's not how I usually roll. No. Sabrina Carpenter is 27, Cam Newton 37, Jeffrey Donovan 58, and Matt Leinart is 43. And on this day, 1969, Hamburger Hill becomes the scene of an intense and controversial battle during the Vietnam War. Known to military planners as Hill 937, which was a reference to its height in meters. The solitary peak is located in the dense jungles of Vietnam, about a mile from the border with Laos. On the final assault, which was the 11th attack, the North Vietnamese stronghold was captured today in 1969. Thousands, plural, of U.S. troops and South Vietnamese soldiers fought their way to the summit. In the face of the 4-battalion attack, the North Vietnamese retreated to the sanctuary areas in Laos. Why is it controversial, you ask? 11 attacks finally to be successful. Today is May 11th. On June 5th, the U.S. would retreat from their hill because it had no strategic value. You wasted all of those lives simply because the Vietnamese were there. By the way, they were there a month later after you left.
Mm-hmm.
And that is this day in sports history.
All right, this day in sports history. 6:49 this morning here on the Morning Drive. Take your thoughts and comments. The Yates Flooring Center chat line. Go to WT973.com for that of the mobile app. The Visual Edge IT hotline is open too at 806-771-0973. I mentioned earlier that Friendship, Lubbock Cooper, and Liberty all advanced in baseball last week. Friendship this week will now take on Flower Mound Marcus. The Tigers 29-8. Marcus is 23-11. This will be a best of 3 series that will come to us from Crutcher Scott Field at Abilene Christian University. The Lubbock Cooper Pirates will take on Argyle. Lubbock Cooper 25-13-1. Argyle 20-13-1. Okay, both same number of losses and ties. That will start on Thursday. And then Liberty will take on Randall. Liberty 27-9. Randall 20-14-1. They'll play at Wilder Field in Plainview. That's the home of Wayland Baptist University, and that'll be Friday, Saturday, and then Saturday if necessary. The Lubbock Cooper games are Thursday, Friday, and then Friday if necessary. And Friendship, again, is going to be Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Thursday, Friday, and Friday. Okay?
Yeah.
Thursday, Friday, and Friday. Yeah. Okay, so that's what's coming down the pike, at least as far as those 3 schools are concerned for this week. So good luck to them as they try to keep advancing. That's what you want to do, survive and advance. Mm-hmm. Somebody points this out on the Yates Flooring Center chat line with regard to Texas Tech softball. In reality, Tech softball's only good losses were to Nebraska and Arizona. All their other losses were bad losses. Texas State, Utah, Baylor, and Arizona State are all RPI killers. Okay, that's fair.
Okay.
Those are 4 bad losses. And 3 of them coming late. You know, the Utah one out there, the Baylor one last week here at home, and then the one Saturday to Arizona State there in Oklahoma City. So it makes their road a little rougher, just from the standpoint that, first you have to get out of your own regional, right? You can't really assume anything. You know, you have to get out of your own spot first.
Fair enough.
And then you would go to Gainesville and presumably take on Florida, should Florida survive their regional. So, if Florida were to lose, then you would be right back here.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah. So, that's what you have to hope for at this point in time. It does feel like, though, that at the start of the year it was all, what time's the parade going to be? And now it feels like,
You're definitely the leader of the what time's the parade.
I know. I made that. I brought that up, but I mean, I think a lot of people felt that way, right? I think a lot of people.
I still think they have a great chance to win the whole thing.
Yeah.
They went on the road and won in Super last year.
Mm-hmm.
I still think that you're incredibly talented and you got a great chance to win it all. I really do. So, I still, a confidence level that you're in the national championship, little final there, best 2 out of 3, I'd probably still put it at 50%.
I think that's a lower percentage than what folks would have said.
That's probably fair.
A month ago, right?
Yeah, that's probably fair.
And who knows? Maybe you tweak a couple things. You're like, okay, this is, and this is this, in terms of what you need to do hitting wise or, strategy wise from a pitching standpoint.
It has had to have been hard for this team day in and day out to be just 100% dialed in, just because as talented as they were and knowing how much more talented that they were than most of their opponents all season long. That being said, I don't think we'll have any trouble with them being dialed in.
Yeah, I don't think you're worried about the focus or anything like that.
This team is built to win it all, and now you're getting to show it. So I still think you have a great chance to win it all.
Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Red Raider baseball team won 2 of 3 over the weekend. They took down BYU on Saturday afternoon on Senior Day. That was nice. Of the seniors, which one are you going to miss the most?
Oh, boy, that was a nice little question there.
Or it's like, which one of your children are you going to miss the most when they leave for whatever?
One of them's leaving. One of them's moving back in, so easy answer for me.
Okay.
No, they're both graduating. Which one am I going to miss the most? I'll just say the right side of the infield.
Okay.
Lopez and Villeneuve. I'm a sucker. I'm an absolute sucker for guys that go to a school and stay there and play for 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Growing old with these young men that come to campus and we watch them get better and better, and they stay here for 4 years and they have opportunities to go elsewhere, and maybe they're not the superstar of the team, but they get better and better. I'm a sucker for that, and it's gotten obviously more so since we have come in this transfer portal era of sports. So it will be hard for me to pick against Tracer Lopez in that regard, right?
Sure.
And if you know the personality, I mean, he's just a great young man and a great kid. And if you just watch him with his teammates and you watch him on the field, you have to have a lot of respect for the way that he goes about his business, works hard. He's always dialed in. He's encouraging of his teammates. He's got the right body language, no matter, if you're winning or losing, whatever. He's intense when he needs to be intense, but he stays loose when, he needs to, lift the team or, have guys around him be loose. And so personalities like that are fun, but also just seeing him get better and better over 4 years. And I know there's been stretches where, he struggled at the plate. I get it. I understand. But, man, he has had a awesome senior season. He's been terrific. And, I know Logan Hughes is not a senior, but Logan, he's played his last game at Rip Griffin Park too. He's going to get drafted, and, some are even thinking he's going to sneak into the first round, but whatever, in the top 3 rounds or whatever. But Logan's the same way. I don't ever see that kid not smiling. he fouls a ball off his foot and he's wincing and then he's laughing about it. I mean, it's just who he is. And I just have all sorts of respect for people that are that way. And Logan clearly is a really, really good baseball player. And again, Tracer's a really good college baseball player. Now Logan's got the bigger upside to play at the next level. And I'll be surprised if we don't see Logan playing in a major league ballpark someday. But, those, and Logan's only been here a couple years, so I'm not going to lump him in with Tracer, but it's hard for me to not want to pull for guys that have been here for 4 years and have stuck through it and all that. Now Jacob Rogers, he's another guy that has been here for 4 years for the Red Raiders, but Jacob's dealt with a lot of injuries and stuff like that, so that's really hampered his career. So we didn't see him play as much as we saw Tracer, and it feels like we've seen Tracer's game just get better and better as he's gone along. He's like the Keenan Evans, right?
Yeah.
I compare like Tracer right now to Barron and to Bailey. I mean, those are the three athletes right now that are on like in those three sports that have been here for 4 years, probably could have gone elsewhere and got more money elsewhere or done what they wanted to elsewhere. But all three of them, great Red Raiders as far as I'm concerned, and will have legacies here because of their, just being here for 4 years, and we all kind of watching them get better and better as they go along.
Okay, well said. 7:20 this morning here on the Morning Drive. We give this question from the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Wonder what the conversation in Florida is like today. Congrats, Gators. You're a 6 seed, and now you have to potentially get through Texas Tech to make it through the Women's College World Series.
No doubt. I can't believe that they would be real thrilled with that.
No, not at all.
You wonder if they were one of the teams that was, hey, don't schedule them. We want to, boycott them a little bit here. Don't schedule them in the regular season. And then they get stuck with them in a super. They're like, oh, boy, that's kind of backfired.
This from Syntex Hank. Watched the selection show and was glad to see the ladies had a less than enthusiastic reaction to their seeding. Maybe they'll take that as a sign of disrespect and run rule everyone on the way to the championship.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think we'd all be here for that.
Yeah. I think this is sarcasm, okay? Chuck's right. Distance does matter. I live in shallow water, and when I wanted to shop the grocery store in South Lubbock, I was worn plumb out by the time I got there and barely got my broccoli sacked before taxing. Appreciate the creativity there in the text.
I'm not sure if he was agreeing with you or making fun of you.
No, I think the latter.
Long way to go for broccoli. That's all I'm saying.
I thought that was kind of funny. To be honest with you.
I mean, I've gone further for different things. However, that's a long way to go for broccoli.
7:22 this morning here on the Morning Drive. I do want to have a discussion on this. But first, a little breaking news. The Cowboys will play the first Sunday night game of the season, according to Adam Schefter. That will be on September the 13th, and they'll play at the New York Giants.
All right.
Okay.
Chuck, you're ruining your Thursday.
Feels like a lot of years that the Cowboys and Giants start.
Well, that's exactly what was going through my head too. It feels like that's kind of become a perennial opener for you, either to host.
You're going to get good ratings with that one.
Yeah.
There's two fan bases that are going to watch, partly just to be angry, but they're going to watch.
I do need to know, were you listening on Friday when they announced that they'd released the schedule on Thursday?
Well, I'm aware that they're releasing the schedule on Thursday.
Right, but did you hear us talking about you finding out about it on Thursday while you were driving on the Marcia Sharp Freeway?
No, I missed that part. I mean, it doesn't take much to listen when you guys are talking about me.
Doesn't take much to listen when you guys are talking about me.
Yeah.
Exactly. What does that mean?
That means that I'm a frequent.
Doesn't take much to listen when you guys are talking about me.
Yeah,
These words, verbs, nouns. I don't know that any of them go together and make sense.
Okay. If we were talking about him, he would have been listening. But how do we know if he was listening?
No, I wasn't. I wasn't tuned in. To be quite honest with you, I'm sorry. I missed that portion of your fine program. Were you saying that I would have?
I'm still shifting gears on this comment. I got to hang on. I'm so lost. No, we were just thought that if you heard a very loud yippee on the Martian Shark Freeway over all of the engines roar by a car that was doing 150 miles an hour, that was Chuck Heinz.
150.
Well, I was excited when I saw it.
Yeah. Thursday was when the schedule comes out.
Yeah, but you didn't put it in your big book, Jamie.
Well, actually, it's going to go in my big book because I promised the daughter that we would go to Houston to watch the Bills play this year. So Thursday we get to find out what the date is.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. We'll get to this White House list of ideas, White House committee on college sports reform. There's a couple things in here that I like, and one that I don't think will ever happen.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Jamie's question of the day on Double T 97.3 is brought to you by Connecticut of West Texas.
All right, gentlemen. Heading into the Red Raider football season here in 2026, I'm just going to ask you a very simple question. And I think our answer was different before, news of Brendan Sorsby's struggles and all that good stuff. And we still don't know what's going to happen there. But I'm just going to ask you the question either way. Who or what could be a what? Are you the most excited to see in the upcoming football season? It can be about a player. It can be about something different than years past. Who or what?
Who or what? Who or what? I'm not really excited to see this, but I'm anxious to see what your offense looks like without Brendan Sorsby at quarterback. So, not excited to see that. So I'll say who I'm excited to see as opposed.
I was going to say maybe just answer the question.
I'll say
instead of changing it.
Who I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see what Quentin Joyner can do in the backfield. I want to see his acceleration, his speed, see if he's see what his recovery is like from his knee injury, and how good he can be, and can he be explosive for you? That's what I'm excited to see.
Chuck and I could not be more different on so many things. This being one of them. I mean, he just asked me a question a few minutes ago. I'm not saying your question is wrong or your answer is wrong. Okay, at all, because I think it's a good answer.
It's a good answer.
But you asked me a question a few minutes ago, and I sat over here and talked about how much I love guys that are here for 4 years. Right. And those are the guys I really like to see grow old and all that. And you've got two guys that have been here that did great stuff for you last year. And Chuck's
looking for the new shiny thing.
He wants the shiny new object. Like, we don't want to be excited about them. It's the shiny new object.
Yeah. It's probably guilty as charged in some.
Yeah, there's. It's a good answer because he obviously is a really talented guy that you would have loved to have had last year.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what Micah Hudson can do in his third year here. And I know he's had a bunch of false starts, like, for his seasons, is the way I would describe it. Because,
that's well said.
He comes in, highly touted recruit, but he was hurt. Mm-hmm. And then year before, the next year, it's, leaves, punches out an A&M player, then comes back. Misses a bunch of stuff because he wasn't here. He's been here the whole summer. He's worked on things the whole summer. Does this solve some of the questions of knowing the playbook that we heard early on in his career? Does this give him a healthy dose of getting to work with the quarterbacks and getting to know the offense and knowing where he needs to be and the stability of being in the same place for a year? I'm really excited to see what that can do for that young man. And it kind of goes to that he's been here for 3 years, even though he had a slight hiatus. But he punched an A&M quarterback, or A&M player. So, we can give him a pass for that, right?
I think it was a quarterback. Yeah. My answer is actually decently close to Chuck's with the addition of Quentin Joyner and what you had in the backfield already. I'm excited to see a team that I think is going to be, and then add to it, should be better on the offensive line. I think it's a team that's going to be really, really good running the football. Really good fun running the football with the three-headed monster that you have back there, plus a really good offensive line. The uncertainty at quarterback position makes me think you'll lean on it a little bit more. And so I'm excited to see, and that's funny coming from a guy who loves the air raid and all that kind of stuff and loves when we throw it around the yard, but just because it's a little bit different, and to see what you did with the run game last year at times and feel really good about things in that regard, I'm excited to see you be even better in the run game this upcoming season. Yeah.
Because, on one hand, you're probably going to have to be. And on the other hand, when you're going to have to be and you can be, that's a big difference, right? On one hand, you feel like, you're going to really have to be better, when it comes to running the football. But, by the way, you've got that ability to do that because of what you have coming back. So that's pretty cool in and of itself.
So let me now let you answer the question the way you wanted to answer it.
Anxious.
For all three of us. What are you anxious to see?
I'm anxious to see what I said. What's your offense look like without Brendan Sorsby at quarterback? So whether that's the first 3 games, 4 games, 6 games, 12 games, and
would you say that you would be surprised if it's not a Kirk Francis to Will Hammond handoff here?
Yeah, I think that's what you're headed towards.
Okay.
Yeah. And
not to get anybody in trouble, but that's where I would lay my money on it. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think, and with regard to Will, I want him.
How quick can he get back?
Yeah, but I want him to come back when he feels like he is ready physically and mentally to be able to take that hit. And when does that first hit come, or when does that first move come where he's like, okay, I feel that my knee is stable. And if he's, whether he's running the ball or he's going back to pass or he's potentially got to step out of the way of somebody in practice. He'll know there'll be a moment. And look, anybody that's had an injury, whether they're, a Division I athlete or just, regular Joe, when you're recovering from something and you have that first time where it's like, oh, my shoulder didn't go out, or my knee did hold, or my ankle did do this, then that mental rep that gets through your head is really, that's a really positive step, in addition to the physical aspect of it too. So, yeah, I think you're right. I think it's going to be Francis to Will, and I hope he's ready by the Houston game. But if it takes him to week 4, then it takes him to week 4, because I think you can win without him. But it certainly makes it a little bit closer to the line, right?
This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Welcome to the Power Hour here on Double T 97.3 with Jamie Lent and Jeff McGuire. I'm Chuck Heinz. We come to you from the First United Bank studio here in downtown Lubbock. We'll take your thoughts and comments on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Go to doublet973.com for that on the mobile app. The Visual Edge IT hotline is open at 806-771-0973.
Hold, please.
Double T 97.3 presents the Morning Drive Power Hour. The Power Hour is presented by Service Compression. Committed to service, advanced technology, and field-proven compression expertise in the oil field. See them at servicecompression.com.
Sorry.
That's all right.
No, that's my fault.
We're good. We're good. I wanted to get to this. This is kind of heavy for the Power Hour, Jamie, but maybe not. We'll see. The White House committee that was charged with reforming college athletics and putting together a plan, okay, for lack of better things, has come up with some ideas, and these are ideas that they are floating, and this has been drafted. The draft has been marked for discussion purposes only. Okay. Basically, what they're suggesting is capping coaches' salaries, creating a group of 6 playoff, and shielding the NCAA from antitrust litigation. In this regard, the litigation aspect, it would be the most ambitious federal government intervention into college sports ever. Okay? The committee calls for a new entity to oversee a plan that it believes should be implemented in 3 phases. The College Sports Reform Task Force would be established within the existing NCAA structure, would be armed with some antitrust exemptions, and the authority to override state laws. So this makes it really hard when you're overriding state laws and you're putting a lot of things in place. But it would seek congressional approval, and that this, even after the body dissolves, unless a future governing body or Congress changes them. So Congress would oversee the College Sports Reform Task Force, not just the president, okay, whomever he is or she is. But the first thing I wanted to get your take on is the first of these 3 phases is, what do you think the odds are that you would have a cap on coaches and administrator salaries within an athletic department? How likely do you think that would be?
Not likely, A, and also, who says this is a problem, B?
Okay, the reason that they're saying it's a problem, B, they cite that 13 major college football coaches are paid at least $10 million in the next season. They're citing this as one of the reasons why programs are being cut within non-revenue sports, and that the staff sizes in athletic departments have been reduced. I don't think the football coaches' salaries, I'm never for a salary cap on like coaches or administrators or things like that, just from the standpoint that it's what the market bears, right? But maybe you need that in college football. I don't know, but I don't think that's the reason why people are cutting their golf and tennis programs.
I don't either.
I don't either. So that's one that I don't necessarily think is going to be. Is this?
Let me just get a clarification. Is this the president's committee, or is this a congressional committee?
This is the president's White House committee.
The White House committee. Okay.
Yeah, this is the White House committee.
Because it would be, mighty right of Congress to be saying that you've got to have limits on how much you can make when there's not one for what they can make.
Yeah, no, I agree. The second thing is, and this is growing concern, where the name, image, and likeness-based salary cap for players, that there's a lot of circumvention going on, especially within athletic departments who redirect their multimedia rights and their apparel revenues to supplement the $20.5 million that schools are permitted to share with players under the terms of the House versus NCAA settlement. I think that is a very real issue that's going on, where teams, schools are looking for ways around that to go above and beyond the $20.5 million.
Sure.
And it's not that additional money is going to other sports. That additional money is going to football, because that's what you're having to do to keep up with whomever, whether it's keep up with the new rich, Indiana and Texas Tech, or the old guard trying to kind of keep their ground, whether it's Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan, etc. They also want to modify college football's revenue distribution and create a separate playoff for the group of 6 conferences. I would be all for a separate playoff for the group of 6.
I'd be fine with that.
Much like we have in much like we have in the high school ranks. There's a 6A, a 5A, a 4A, 3A.
Division 1, Division 2.
Yeah, Division 1, Division 2. They also, and I think this just has to happen for it to, because and I would tell you, I would tell you, I think you could make this happen for all sports, with the exception of football, is to shake up the conference membership. They say for non-revenue sports to decrease travel costs and burden on schools and student athletes. But I would tell you, I think you could make that happen for men's and women's basketball. And I think, or if you just wanted to say, okay, you leave men's basketball out of it, but women's basketball and everybody else go to more traditional conference alignments that make sense from a travel standpoint, so that you're not flying clear across the country both ways.
I think that would make a lot of sense.
Because you could.
I think you could keep football and the 2 basketballs in with what you have now, and then just again, if you're going to do it with men's basketball, you're going to do it with women's basketball.
Yeah, you most certainly, most likely are, right? Yeah. You most likely are.
And so then at that point, go with the rest of the sports. You can make them more regional. But
my goodness, you could save if you said men's and women's basketball and everybody else, we're going to go back to traditional conferences, because we're going to distribute the money so that it makes sense across the board, especially at the Power 4 level. You could save a tremendous amount of money on just airplane fees and 2-city trips and things like that. That's the first of it. So I'll get to phase 2, but do you think any of those stick?
I wouldn't guess so.
There's gonna be pushback.
Yeah, I wouldn't guess so.
There's gonna be immediate pushback.
This has been the Morning Drive podcast, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Check out our library of Double T 97.3 podcasts at doublet97.3.com.